Anson's Heating and Air is the home of Dr. Comfort, focusing on customer care for heating and air conditioning across Central Illinois for some 35 years. Find out their services, specials, and coupons by clicking their icon on TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM. You're listening to the WTIM Morning Show on your information station, and the show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and school is now underway. It's been about that way for a week in South Fork schools, so it's a good time to check in with their superintendent, Chris Clark. Chris, good to have you in this morning.
Hey, nice to see you, Reed. Always a pleasure to come in, buddy.
It is a pleasure for you to come in and talk about all the things going on at South Fork schools a week into the academic year so far. Just overall, how's it gone?
Yeah, it started off fabulous. We have teachers reported on the 17th come in. We had a couple new teachers hired coming in. We have a fabulous staff put together to implement everything we want to do at South Fork to help our kids find some success and do what they need to grow in such a vulnerable stage of their life and hopefully find and provide them opportunities to go, whether it be career path or college path. You know, we want to provide all kind of opportunities for our kids.
Yeah, and with the teachers coming in, sounds like 3 new teachers you have as well. Talk a little about them and how that's gone so far.
Yeah, we did actually hire a few teachers over the summer to come in. We were 2 of those teachers were actually part of our program of Grow Our Own within our district, so they were paraprofessionals before this. But they were able to earn their college degree and now become teachers. So we're really excited about those who have been part of our family for a little while, but now they get to take over in a teacher role. And then we had one move in that come in and has plenty of years experiences and does a fabulous job in the classroom as well. And the best part that I could say about all 3 of the people that we have, they are community members as well. So they're not just vested in the school system as a job. They are vested in the community. Some of them have kids that go to school in our system as well. So it's great to build that family from within of community members, well-rounded, and having all of those experiences that they are vested in with it, and they're going to help really our community and our kids and our school grow. So yeah, real excited about those. We had some new paraprofessionals join our staff as well, and again, same kind of token with them. They are community members. So we're really seeing good things, not just school wide, but community wide as well.
And in a town like South Fork and, all the small towns surrounding that one, I would imagine like having that local connection, like it makes such a huge difference, almost as much as like the educational experience would. Does that sound
absolutely,
about right?
Absolutely. There's benefits and some drawbacks about living in the community where you educate as well, but the benefits far outweigh them. And I say they live there. I think several of them also went to school there, graduated from there. So when you start bringing that, and they have a sense of pride of somewhere that gave to them, that they can give back something now. Very similar to my situation as I graduated from South Fork as well. You do have that sense of loyalty and pride and community in that. So yeah, it's such a great benefit when you can definitely keep your own and draw your own back in and have that well-rounded, like I say, sense of community.
And you mentioned a couple of paraprofessionals moving into teacher roles. I feel like I don't recall that ever happening in my school system. Is that something that's happened like a lot previously in your school district or in others?
Well, it really took off a couple of years ago. We got a teacher vacancy grant that helped us because we were short on teachers and couldn't really find them with the teacher shortage and stuff. So we was able to work with our union of how we could keep well-qualified staff and also build quality staff within our own. So through that grant, we was able to help them go back to school to earn those certificates. So they actually got to work that whole time they were doing it. So it was a benefit program for both the school and the people that earned those degrees, because like I said, they worked in a position they bettered themselves. And what great examples for our kids as well, as somebody that worked the whole time they were educating themselves to better themselves and earn a college degree with it. So yeah, very proud of those people, and look forward to the good things they can do.
So in terms of also getting that education to then become a teacher, is it like, they're going into their classes, into the South Fork classes during the day, and then taking their own teaching classes like at night? Or
correct? Yeah, okay. Most of them are online classes that they took. I think our two went actually through McKendree College with it, so they had to do all that on their own outside of their job and everything. But their job did provide them opportunities to do the student teaching side of it and have experiences that you go into and stuff to talk about within those classes, I'm sure.
Okay, McKendree, right in Central Illinois, pretty much. So that's nice. And then 3 new teachers. That's for a district like South Fork, right? That's going to be a decent percentage of the staff. Like, how has that gone in terms of being able to like connect with the other teachers and be mentored and be able to serve the students well?
Sure. We and again, 2 of them were there before. The other one comes in with, I think, 13 years experience. So as far as the teaching side of things, the mentoring side, as being a teacher, probably doesn't necessarily need to hold a lot of, but there are some local things that mentors. We do have a mentoring program where they meet with people and they talk with them, and any local things or just day-to-day occurrence things that mentoring program meets with them and works with them and is there for support and help in their time whenever they're transitioning. So that's always good that we have people looking after people.
Nice. That is great. Anything else you want to mention about the new teachers, new staff, before we move on to other topics?
No, like I said, I'm really excited about the staff we have. They've been working really, really hard on moving, in a direction, and we've been, like I said, we haven't lost too many people throughout the past couple years with it. So hopefully we have something now that is consistent and we can grow with it as our staff looks to keep implementing curriculum and things like that. And the more stable you can be, the easier it is to set a tone, for sure.
That's great. I'm talking right now with Chris Clark, Superintendent of South Fork Schools. I want to move on to the matter of curriculum, because it sounds like this is the second year of a new process you've been in. And talk about the curriculum, just kind of an overview, and kind of what you're planning for now in year 2 thereof.
Sure. That and that's not total curriculum. I think our ELA has been 3 years kind of in the works. Math is the second year in the work. High school got a lot of new curriculum last year with some different things, but as you get into it, it's not being the first year or even the second year that you get into it. Now your teaching style can really start to pull through, because the first year you're trying to learn a lot of the curriculum. You're doing professional development on it. What do I need to do? You can look back at it, things that we miss, gaps that we have within it. So I think that second and third year really lets you start to shine as a teacher, as we have curriculum in place. They talk about in education, you have curriculum and you have instruction. Those are the 2 biggest things that influence education, is the curriculum and instruction. So as long as we know we have valid curriculum, now, like I said, our quality teachers can shine through with the instructional side of it. And hopefully we can grow from that, and it'll start showing with some of our representation as far as scores or things where we can help our kids.
Yeah. So, it sounds like you're kind of looking for that growth, and it would seem like, as you're kind of getting used to this curriculum, as the teachers are getting used to it, like it's really kind of an inflection point, a key inflection point in how it ends up going in the end. Does that sound about?
Yeah. Like I said, the more familiar you get with stuff, again, there's always going to be a personality side to teachers of doing things, and that's what makes great teachers is, it's not just curriculum in front of you. Here it is, feed this to the kids. good quality teachers are always going to have that personality side where they're connecting with the kids. And once they connect with the kids, they can teach them a lot of things. And they have that relationship built with the kids and everything. So now we're strong at curriculum. We have those relationships built, and we should just flourish from there.
That is awesome. Chris Clark, Superintendent of South Fork Schools, is my guest in this part of the show. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll look a little bit further ahead at what's coming up or what could be coming up at South Fork Schools, and maybe talk a little bit about sports and extracurriculars as well. That'll be coming up right here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station.
Your information station, WTIM.
If you're 40 and over, you'll recognize these artists by their first names. Frank, Dean, Sammy, Andy, Nat, Diana, Michael. Well, here's the big news. You can now hear Central Illinois' largest music library with over 3,500 songs on air and online at 965thechill.com. Tune in on the FM dial in Christian County and on your computer or smartphone. Hear these great artists and many more 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on 965thechill.com.
Field notes, seed performance, yield maps, soil samples. You've got the data. Now what? That's where your Nutrient Ag Solutions crop consultant comes in. They turn this season's results into insights that click, helping you build a crop plan that connects across your acres, from crop nutrition and protection to seed and financing. Learn more at nutrientagsolutions.com/decisions.
Of the 2024 construction projects by Christian County businesses, those businesses saved an estimated $370,000 in sales tax by utilizing the county's enterprise zone. Through the efforts of the Christian County Economic Development Corporation over the past 20-plus years to establish and grow the county's enterprise zone, new and existing businesses in the county can save significantly in sales taxes. Find out how they can help your business by clicking their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com. The Christian County Economic Development Corporation is moving Christian County forward.
Since 1938, Shelby Electric Cooperative has connected our communities when others wouldn't. Today, Shelby Fiber is bringing fast, reliable, future-ready internet to underserved areas. See if Shelby Fiber is available in your neighborhood. Click the Shelby Fiber banner at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
To learn more about Rolling Meadows Senior Living in Taylorville and the apartments they have available, click on their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
Finding a local job in Central Illinois has never been easier. Don't waste time driving far or spending too much on gas. Visit IllinoisJobPost.com. It's your one-stop site to find local, full-time, and part-time job openings. Best of all, it's completely free for job seekers to access anytime, day or night. So if you're ready to land a job close to home, make IllinoisJobPost.com your first stop. That's IllinoisJobPost.com. Brought to you by your friends at the regional radio stations.
Hi, this is Will Perkins with Taylorville Community Credit Union. Find out about all the products and services we provide by clicking our icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
At Taylorville Estates Assisted Living, life feels lighter. With helping hands always nearby and activities that bring people together, every day offers comfort and connection. From shared meals to shared moments, it's a place that feels like family. Discover the joy waiting at Taylorville Estates Assisted Living. Click their icon at TaylorvilleDailyNews.com.
WTIM.
Back on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station, and the show is sponsored by People's Bank and Trust, where they put people first. I'm your host, Reed Kamai, and let's continue things with Chris Clark, Superintendent of South Fork Schools. We've been talking about the new school year, some new teachers as well on the staff. Let's look a little bit further ahead because, certainly a lot planned for the upcoming academic year. What are some big goals, some big plans that you folks have across the school district this year?
Yeah. I mean, looking at it from a holistic aspect of things with it, I think our staff has done a tremendous job really hitting the social emotional side and the trauma side of building relationships with kids, support networks for kids in those areas of need and different things. So I think really with that base foundation in place, that the kids have those supports, we're really gearing towards that curriculum and instruction side that we talked about, how we can really start affecting test scores, grades, things like that with it. So our long-term vision is all of those things, those foundation pieces that we've been putting into place. Hopefully here we start seeing that growth in the near future with those different things of the school improvement that we have really worked hard in implementing that side of it. So as far as curriculum side and goals of that side, we really want to strive for that growth that we've worked for with like I said, the supports that we put in place with those things. District wide, we still want to stay financially sound. We are in a pretty good spot right now with our finances of different things, but you never know when the state can turn with different happenings and everything. But definitely want to look at that as a long-term goal to stay financially healthy with different things, and how we can keep improving our buildings to offer the best opportunity for our kids within our school, for sure.
Yeah, and I want to go back to one thing you mentioned about, sort of how you're, adjusting, the supports you have for students. And, I would imagine that's a big part of it, because the teachers are out there to teach, and that's what school's about. But, you're also working with human beings, and they're very complex in a lot of ways, certainly when they're younger.
Sure.
So, kind of what goes into getting all of that set up.
Yeah, like I said, I would give full credit to both our principals inside our buildings, that they've provided systems of support for our kids. We've been lucky enough over the past couple of years. We've hired a tremendous guidance counselor to be able to help our kids and give them support emotionally, socially, emotionally on those side of things. We have a fabulous assistant principal that really helps our kids out through some of those trauma situations with different things. We also have some alternative settings that we have where we can offer our kids support if they need extra support in those. So yeah, really setting those up have been helpful. And you can have all the different layers of support you want, but if you don't have the right people in those positions, they're not worthy of even being set up. And that's where I go back to, we have fabulous people in those positions doing those roles, making relationships with kids.
And something else I want to go back to is you were talking about finances and managing all of that. And I don't want to get too much into opinions about things. However, we do have the statewide elections coming up in November. It's also the federal midterm election. So, certainly a lot of potential changes could come of that when it comes to policy. I'm curious how much you folks are watching that and kind of, preparing for, a variety of scenarios.
Well, we don't watch too much on the political side with things. Granted, like the EBF formula that we have, I found out a week ago what we were getting for the year. I know we see budgets and stuff ahead of time. So again, some of that, we are very reliable on state aid with things, so that can affect stuff. But right now, it's been pretty good to us, and hopefully it stays in that place. And whenever you are good, hopefully you're conservative with your money and you do things to ride the roller coaster of school finance, to when it's down, that you've put yourself in position to be able to ride through those and ride it out.
All right, so we'll see how all of that plays out. And since I brought that up, I figure we'll switch to something a little more exciting now. I know you've got a lot of sporting activity going on, extracurriculars, just a handful of fall sports across the schools. How has all of that been going so far, apart from and including football?
Yeah, I think our numbers are up a little bit. I don't know as far as records go, but I did hear that junior high baseball numbers are really up in Edinburgh. Girls softball, junior high, they're rolling in the games. Volleyball has started off having a couple games. I'm not all up to date of what their records are or different things, but just having participation and kids go out is a wonderful thing. And then just being part of football, I can speak a little bit more to it and knowing it. We had a very successful start to the season with a win on last Saturday. So yeah, really looking for big things coming from that program as well with it.
Yeah, and I know you had a core of seniors last year, so a lot of change there. But at least you're starting out on the right foot, it seems.
Yeah,
with
we
football.
did. We graduated a lot to hopefully build a program, built a legacy.
Yeah.
And Coach Hanlon kind of said it best. We don't want to rebuild; we want to reload every year.
Yeah.
So hopefully those kids take it and we run with it, and we have a successful season.
Awesome. Chris Clark, Superintendent of South Fork Schools, has been my guest in this part of the show. Chris, it is always great to talk to you. Thank you for coming.
Always a pleasure, Reed.
Thank you. And thank you for listening here on the WTIM Morning Show on your information station. Stay tuned because we'll have one more conversation coming up for you, and that will begin in about 10 minutes' time.
With SRN News, I'm Rich Thomas.